best stories in crypto mining don't start in a data center. They start in a backyard. Nathan Sandridge began as a passionate home GPU miner, tinkering away in a small shed in Iowa. That hobby turned into a dream, and that dream became CoreX Hosting. Nathan took a 40-foot shipping container, retrofitted it by hand, and built his first hosting site from the ground up. Today, that same entrepreneurial drive has grown CoreX Hosting into a multi-site, full-scale hosting provider, offering both air-cooled ASIC hosting and the latest generation 2U hydro miners. If you're ready to take your mining to the next level, reach out to CoreX Hosting and tell them the Hobbyist Miner sent you for special pricing and discounts. Hello. How is it going, guys? Welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out with me today on your Tuesday. TikTok and Instagram got in a little bit early. YouTube, thanks for hanging with me here. What did you guys think of that Bitcoin battle? Wasn't that pretty sick? I can actually share that with you guys. I'll put a link in chat to it. It is bitcoin-battlefield.pages.dev. I'm going to put it in on YouTube, those on TikTok, Instagram, bitcoin-battlefield.pages.dev. You can fully interact with it, which is actually pretty dang cool. Like here, I'll swap over. I do have the music and audio off right now. But take a look at this. Like it's this full interactive kind of battlefield, and you can adjust the music, the chaos, the graphics. You could also you could do like a little like cinematic. So it'll control the camera entirely for you, which is actually pretty slick. Yeah, it's cool. It's kind of showing like where Bitcoin's price is, and like when big buys come in or big lows occur, you'll see like a jet fly in and bomb it, on one direction or the other. It's pretty slick, to be honest with you. I've been really been having fun with it. My kids really like it as well. Kind of shows you the current Bitcoin price. So it's pretty slick. Go over and check it out, mess with it. You'll find yourselves watching it off to the side, which is a pretty fun platform for sure. But let's go ahead. We're going to jump into things today. Oh, thank you very much. Everything Some. Thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. But yeah, thank you guys very much for joining me today on your Tuesday, about 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Just quick housekeeping. We will be live on Thursday at 9 a.m. A lot of people from across the pond over in Europe and India and Australia, Japan, join me at that hour. It's a little bit better hour for them versus 12:30 right now. It's kind of right in the middle of the day for us US folks. But we are hanging out today, answering questions, chatting with you guys. So feel free to ask your questions away. Comment down below on anything crypto mining, whatever really comes to mind. I'm here to chat with you guys. Really see what's on your mind. What you've been thinking about. Are you contemplating certain hardware? Are you contemplating selling certain crypto? Kind of what's on your mind in that regard for sure. Thank you very much, guys, for doing the like there on YouTube and on Twitter, clicking that like button. I do very much appreciate it. There was a question that came in earlier from Carlos while we were launching things, and I do want to get back to it. He's over on TikTok. He says, this is my first year mining and being crazy with prices. So this happens every 4 years after all-time high. Not necessarily. What I will say is, we've talked about this a lot. The market going up or the market going down is not programmed directly into Bitcoin. So that being said, nothing is scheduled, nothing is absolute, nothing is guaranteed when it comes down to Bitcoin's price. If you go back, you can look at Bitcoin's price and it follows some consistencies of like every 4 years type of deal. But this is a great example right now of like, feel free to kind of map out what the last few years have looked like and whether it's a bear market or a bull market. One could say when Bitcoin's price like over a year ago hit that 126,000, that was our bull market, right? Like, but it was like this big and not a lot of time to take profits in that regard. And some may say, hey, like we've been in a bear market for multiple years. Well, if we've been in a bear market for multiple years, how did we hit an all-time high with Bitcoin? Shouldn't that register as a bull run? So nothing, as I said, is programmed in when it comes down to Bitcoin and Bitcoin's price. What we are experiencing time and time again is what we're seeing when it comes down to Bitcoin's price goes up and Bitcoin's price goes down. And a lot of it now more than ever is very influenced by worldly events. And we talked about this last week, I think, where we were talking about the fact of worldly events are absolutely affecting Bitcoin's price, especially within the US. The US carries a lot of weight when it comes down to global events, and we absolutely see that for sure. So yeah, nothing's guaranteed. Get back to you, Carlos, on that topic of Bitcoin's price going up or down. There's no absolute way to do it. What I would say is your best avenue is to spend some time thinking about how your strategy changes when Bitcoin's price doubles and how your strategy changes when Bitcoin's price cuts in half. Those are things to think about ahead of time so they're not so crazy and emotional out there. But I want to give a shout out here. Melvin comes in as a member of the Nomi squad. So thank you, Melvin. This was like right before the stream actually started, which I love to see it here. And Zapirate comes in 4 months. The answer is yes. What's up, Zapirate? Thank you very much for being a member. Bear Naked Miner is here. Whereas Waldo is here. Davio, Casey Moulton. We got Mr. Core X hosting. Thank you, sir. Steven is here. And then we do have our moderators, Joker. We got Zapirate. We got Nick. Welcome, guys. Thank you guys very much for coming in to support the channel. Ranchand is here. Thank you guys as well. We got Joey Gambit, Bauer, good morning, 444. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Happy to see you. I was watching today's Pearl Fork again, and I have not followed along with Pearl in that regard. What have we seen any? I don't know. Why did they fork? I guess as a pirate, and for me, I don't really care. For me, I'm just more interested in what type of profitability can it bring to my AI rigs, to be honest with you. Carlos has been learning the air cooling miner is going to be history in the next coming year or probably months. I would say you probably still have several years before air-cooled full-size ASICs have kind of gone by the wayside. There's too much infrastructure built for air-cooled. There's too many too much air-cooled hardware out there. You're still seeing manufacturers come out with brand new units for air-cooled, but hydro is absolutely, I just posted this on Twitter this morning, we're seeing that a lot of companies are pivoting to hydro and buying hydro because when you look at one slot in your entire farm, how can you maximize that and get the most hash rate? The biggest challenge is with air-cooled facilities, your existing infrastructure after, your PDUs and even your PDUs aren't entirely set up to support, the amount of power that hydro units are putting out. So that's something definitely to keep in mind. Hydro is absolutely becoming more and more popular for sure. Great questions there, Carlos, though. Do appreciate it over on TikTok. We got a question coming in here. Where's the best place to sell a couple of 403s or 601s? I personally sell them on eBay or in my Discord. I actually have 2 miners right now up in my Discord that I am selling. I can show you guys real quick if you're interested. Feel free to post in my Discord. There is a marketplace. Somebody will eat it up. I think you're going to probably get more off of eBay because us as home miners are very, very much very frugal and definitely try to bargain shop, which I don't blame you guys at all. But if I jump over to my main screen over here, I was going to show you guys in my Discord under Hobbyist Store. I'm selling Altair Tech PDUs. I still have a few left, 25 bucks plus shipping. If you guys are interested, there's nothing wrong with them. I swapped them out with the ASIC plug locking plug PDUs. Altair Techs are awesome, but I need the locking plugs with all the vibrations in my sheds and the fans. So parting ways with these. I am selling a DCO2. This is a script miner, comes in at $150 plus shipping right now. And I am selling the Bitcoin merch Mars Lander 3. That's the one with that big screen on the front. This is a Bitcoin node, and it also is a Bitcoin miner, has a BitX Gamma built in with it. I don't have a need for another node or pool. I'm running my own. It's been running great. That's why I'm parting ways with this. So selling that as well over here on my store. But there is a section in here for marketplace on my Discord where you can come in and sell things on the marketplace. So feel free to come over here if you're interested. Joker Miner keeps it very, very clean, very, very updated. You know, so it's great with what he's doing there. So shout out to him. Let me go ahead and close that. There we go. But that's where I would go. I don't know that I would do Facebook I mean, I guess you could do Facebook Marketplace. For me, it's a little bit different in my role on YouTube. So yeah, that's why for me, I do eBay and also on my Discord as well. Evening, I received the NerdQX Hydro yesterday. Heck yeah. So you did get it, Oscar. I know you had emailed me about like shipping pause. The downside is, so if you guys aren't familiar, Oscar won the NerdQX Hydro that we gave away not too long ago, and he's overseas in Europe. So when I shipped it here from the United States, as you guys know, USPS tracking only goes so far, and then it's actually handed off to you know, local. So you don't know what that tracking is going to look like. So he was a little concerned that the product got lost or stolen or whatnot. And sometimes, literally, when I ship anything, I always tell people, like, give it 4 weeks if you're overseas, because that's realistically, which is insane. We're in 2026. Why does it take that long? It's insane to me. Absolutely insane. Good morning, Jokes on Cue. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out with us today. Do appreciate it. Leap Cobra, looking to get into strip mining. Anything you would get first, or what's good hash rate? Strip mining? I mean, script mining, maybe? Maybe that's what he was saying. Yes, thank you very much for subscribing. Did you see the epic fall of the BIP 110? Yeah, I was, so two things. I was actually cutting the grass the other day, listening to, Red Panda Mining. He was on his cruise boat, and he was, you know, he owns the whole cruise boat, let's be honest. And he was live streaming from there about, and he was talking about BIP 110. Great. It was a good listen. I recommend you guys go back and listen to it. But that being said, I see my perspective on BIP 110 is I see the value in trying to protect Bitcoin from turning into what we fought so hard for. You know, Bitcoin has had this negative kind of stigma around it being used by criminals, right? You know how long it took us to like get away from Mt. Gox and everything like that, and in a place where Bitcoin was looked at as legal and looked at as legitimate and looked at as a alternative investment avenue, as an alternative money. You know, we fought so long to kind of change that narrative with Bitcoin. And what BIP 110 is looking at is we've started to see over the last few years that there's so much, they're calling it spam or junk on the blockchain, some of it being legal, some of it being illegal. And that being said, and we don't need to go down that rabbit hole too much, but that being said, BIP 110 is looking to entirely get rid of that, and not, you know, not look at the blockchain as it was designed and look at and changing it and filtering it, they're calling it. But the challenge becomes, in my mind, so I understand that side of the world, but the other side of things is two things. First off, we have tried so hard to help the general public. Thank you very much there for subscribing. The general public just accept Bitcoin, and now we're going to come along and be like, we want to fork it and we want to change it. And like, holy cow, good luck. We're barely getting adoption now, let alone changing it like we're looking to do. Your everyday person isn't going to understand it. But my concern though is like, if you look at, think of a major news organization jumping on this BIP 110 thing and being like, why? Let's look at the root cause. Why was there, and I bet you there is right now, this sudden interest in forking and manipulating and changing Bitcoin. And someone from outside crypto jumping into it and looking at this and just reading a few headlines or articles may instantly go, Bitcoin is being used for illegal activity and criminal activity. And all of a sudden we're like, oh my gosh, we're going back to where we were. So that's a lot of my concern there. But while I agree with everything BIP 110 is trying to do, I am not interested, and I don't back the move to BIP 110. One, because the general public doesn't understand Bitcoin as it is, and this is only going to hurt us. Second, if we end up filtering out certain things that are on the blockchain, where does that end? Who governs it? How's that being managed? And how far do we take it? How far do we take that filtering of a blockchain that was supposed to be entirely kind of run and for the community and by the community? And so that's where that's where I go on BIP 110. Not sure what other people's thoughts are, but the fact it only got like 2.5% support just shows that that community is this big. It also does show that a lot of this decision making comes down to the pools and the hash power as well, and not the individual miners. Just putting it out there. Catch up here. Aaron says, hope all is well. I decided to rent hash rate instead of owning some for now. Less to worry about for maintenance. Maybe we talk about hash rate rental options today. Some let you pick a pool, some don't. Yeah, so Aaron, I'm very curious on your side. What direction did you go? What direction did you decide to go? What platform? How much hash rate? Very, very curious on what you did there. I'm going to try to catch up with chat here, guys. Sometimes I go in a little soapbox here. What's your portfolio's performance over the last year? Great question. Comes to us from over on TikTok. So for me, I had a number in mind for Bitcoin that I wanted to accumulate before January. And I worked really hard to get my Bitcoin to that spot. Sold a lot of, I'm going to say, dead projects, sold a lot of just altcoins. I mean, I was in like 60 to 80 different holdings in my portfolio. It was stupid. That being said, I took lots of losses. I sold lots of projects that haven't done anything in years, sold lots of projects that were worth fractions of a penny that have no traction at all. And I put a lot of that into Bitcoin. I got Bitcoin to where I wanted it. Okay, awesome. Since then, I have very much focused on everything else is just kind of subpar. Like I got Caspa and I'm holding on to Caspa about $10,000 worth. But I'm not doing anything with it. Like it's just sitting stagnant. Dogecoin, same thing. Solana, same thing. I'm really looking at like 10 tokens right now. I'm actually we'll talk about this more on Thursday. If you guys saw Thursday's live stream, I want to like rate the different tokens and where I personally am putting them at and where you guys put them at. So join in on Thursday, to be honest with you. Because we're going to do that. We're going to move things around and kind of decide where we want to go with these different tokens and stuff like that. But since then, I've been taking just mostly things into USDC, taking profits every day, with about 5% of all my mining rewards are going into that long-term Bitcoin holdings. And I don't even check it. I don't even look at it. I should say that every few months, I go over to the blockchain, the Bitcoin blockchain, and put in my Bitcoin address for my long-term holdings and just check the balance and just check there's Bitcoin going in there. I don't even load up the wallet. I'm just like, great. I'm just hesitant as possible, right? It's like, hey, going to be as secure as possible. I'm not going to access the wallet. I'm just going to go ahead and access, the blockchain explorer and see where it's at over there. Thanks for your honesty. Not common within crypto. Oh, 100%. I will absolutely tell you everything I can right here. Scrolling down, a lot of hellos, a lot of welcomes. So thank you guys. Second TL, been a while. How's Australia? How we doing? We got in here. Dr. Donut says, I'm using a 5060 Ti, 8 GB for crypto mining on Cryptex. I make 80 cents a day. Is that right or no? Or if no, what software? So a few things there. You're using a consumer branded low end graphics card. Now, granted, it's a 5060. It's Badass, does awesome on gaming. Love to see it. Angel comes in, hello from North New Jersey. Would like to meet and learn. Well, thank you. Thank you for joining. So a 5060 Ti, you're at the low end graphics card. It's only 8 gigabytes and you're using it on a platform like Cryptex. So it's not going to be used for AI compute. It's going to be used for crypto mining. So you have a few bottlenecks in there, right? Hardware, as well as what it's being used for. It's being used for crypto mining. So crypto mining profitability is very low. So you're probably mining some coin out there, maybe Pearl, and then Cryptex, which is a great platform. I have a lot of videos on it, converts that over to Bitcoin. 80 cents a day on a 5060 Ti, awesome. There might be a bunch of people shouting in here about electric costs, but you're in early stages of learning, which I think is great. You're not going to get much more out of a 5060 Ti, to be honest with you. And if you're looking to make more, it's going to be a higher investment that you're going to have to go ahead and spend on hardware. And you're not going to be crypto mining. Crypto mining, especially with GPUs, has not been very lucrative for several years now. Now we've had some pumps here and there. Pearl has brought some great opportunity for a very small amount of time. And as a pirate there was talking about Pearl forking as well. But that's something to keep in mind. I mean, give you guys an idea. So I have this right here. Look at this bad boy. This is a Zotac 5090. I just picked this up not too long ago. So I mean, look how this is huge. This is like bigger than most mini computers, and it's heavy. Totally badass. So I bought this back in May for $3,800, and I have to RMA it, unfortunately. I created a new channel in my Discord. Shout out to everybody who helped me in the Discord, called AI Rig Rentals. Lots of chat in there. Feel free to jump in. And I've been having issues with my entire rig for a while. Troubleshoot, chasing it down, finally isolated it down to this GPU. Worked with a bunch of people. It's actually problematic. And so I am RMAing it. Zotac has a 3-year warranty on all US based new hardware. And so right now I'm down to 3 5090s, and I'm going to be going ahead and getting this one fixed. Just going through the RMA process right now, for sure. Carlos, damn, that's a transmission in a Honda Civic, right? Yeah, 100%, 100%. Joker says, I apologize to the guy I removed. Yep, we saw you. We all saw you. It's evening over here. Second TL, how you doing? There we go. What's a good PDU that has network connectivity so I can individually power cycle socket connections? Altair Tech does have one on their site. It just depends on what you're looking for. Like, are you looking for C13, C14s? Are you looking for like C19, C20? It depends what you're looking for. Altair Tech does have exactly what you're speaking to, as to it's a PDU that's networked, so you can log into it and you can power cycle, shut off and on. I think it really just depends what you're looking for. I at first went down the rabbit hole with my AI rigs of looking for a PDU that was networked and that gave me a app on my phone that I could do this remotely. And I was really looking for that because, like, every once in a while when I was dealing with some issues with my AI rig, I would want to go in or power cycle one of my AI rigs, and I wanted to label it and just be like, okay, great, I'm on a plane or I'm traveling or I'm on the road. I can just log in, turn off that and turn it back on with an app. Unfortunately, no, there's nothing like that out there. You'd have to set up a VPN on your phone, have the IP address, log in. You could do it that way. I ended up actually going with smart plugs. I went with a bunch of these. These are Govee smart plugs. And these have been absolutely awesome. Now you want to be careful how much power you put through them, but these are good up to like 1800 watts. And so with rigs with multiple PSUs, it works out fine. Or actually, this is better for like a single PSU. But then Govee has an app, and I can just log in. And if I get an alert like on VAST that's like rig XYZ is down, I can just log in to the Govee app, turn off that outlet, click, turn it back on, click, and move on with my day. So you can just look these up on Amazon, to be honest with you, if you're interested. I'm catching up on chat, guys. Do apologize. Trying to keep on top of things. Let me check this real quick here. Okay. Let's look. Scrolling down. Takes 4 weeks when you order anything from HD. Unfortunately, Helium Deploy has gone a direction where I don't, you have to see what they have actually in stock versus if you're ordering something in an upcoming batch. If they have it in stock and it takes 4 weeks, that's a big red flag to me to, hey, you don't have it in stock, or what are your people doing? If they do have it, or if they don't have it and it's a pre-order and a batch, you know, you never know when you're going to get it. There's no guarantees. You could run into manufacturer issues. Unhinged Miner, what did you order? I'm very curious. Scrolling down. BTC is used by criminals. What do you think BlackRock is? Oh no, trust me. I listen. Going down the, I had a great conversation. Hello from Las Vegas. What's up, Rocky702? I had a great conversation regarding with somebody I know in finance. We had breakfast the other week. He works for Vanguard, I think. Yeah, Vanguard. And we were talking about the Bitcoin ETFs. And honestly, in my eyes, seeing what I see now, one step removed, the Bitcoin ETFs were not beneficial for us miners. And what I mean by that is, think of it this way. BlackRock, Vanguard, Fidelity, all these companies went ahead, and this is just my opinion. Please tell me that I'm wrong. That what happened was they came along and it all got approved, right? So now BlackRock could go and buy $250 million in Bitcoin. Love it. We'll circle back to this. They'd buy all that Bitcoin. They'd have your mom and pops and your grandparents or people looking to diversify their holdings in their 401ks, IRAs. They'd want to go ahead and be a part of, participate, right? A lot of inflows of Bitcoin of that. They weren't buying Bitcoin. They were buying the Bitcoin ETF on Fidelity, on Vanguard, you know, on BlackRock. BlackRock was the one buying the Bitcoin. Okay. So we were seeing for weeks and months on end, $200 million in Bitcoin getting purchased, 100 million, you know, whatever. But guess what? None of that was on market. None of it. So when I go and buy Bitcoin, if I went to Coinbase and I bought $250 million in Bitcoin, guess what? It's on market. So we, as the general public, see that and the market reacts. It sees that someone publicly bought $250 million off of whatever it is. Well, what BlackRock, Vanguard, Fidelity, what they're doing is they're buying Bitcoin, but private. I think it's called OTC. Privately. They're buying it from other people that are holding all this Bitcoin. So it never makes it to public. It never makes it publicly on any market. So where we were like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait for ETFs to happen. We are ready for all this, you know, market liquidity in and out, inbound and outbound. I'm ready for this. Cannot wait to see this on market. None of it happened and none of it has happened. And so while I was super excited for Bitcoin ETFs, now I wish it never happened. And I almost wish that those individuals looking to participate went down the rabbit hole that you and I did, which was mining or going to Robinhood, Coinbase, your public kind of platforms and buying from there. Because then at least we could value from it. And the price of Bitcoin would value as well. What kind of hash rate did the NerdQX Hydro achieve while you had it? The NerdQX is currently hashing at 3.7, which seems a little low. You'd have to go back, check my videos. Check my videos. You can also see what frequency as well as voltage I was running at. I don't recall off the top of my head. My memory is not that good whatsoever. What's up, Mr. C-Dubs? I see you. I'm using a 5060 Ti 8GB. Oh, you already mentioned that. Okay. I'm going to scroll down and it's probably going to hose my chat. Yep, there it is. Now I got to scroll. So like when I scroll down, I have to scroll back up because it jumps so much because I'm a chatty Cathy. Pearl is the top coin on Cryptex. I make about $2 a day on my gaming PC. Nice. With your 4070. Nice, Joker. Happy to hear that. Also, what is your recommendation for home script miners? A DG1 or a DG06 or something like that? If it's your first one, go with something small like a DCO2. I think I've always absolutely loved AlphaPex, if you're interested, AlphaPex has the DG1 Home. Now it's not like $100, it's several $100s, but it's a home miner AIO, so it's a water cooled system. It's very badass, very cool. You could also look at, I just did a video yesterday we released, and in that video we talked about the Volk Miner D1 Mini Pre. That's a great option to go. You're about $500 to $800 there. But if you're looking for something a lot smaller unit, you mentioned the DC06, you could go that route as well. But solo mine with it. It isn't what the miner you're looking at. The DC06 is designed to solo mine. It's not meant to pool mine. Be careful. That 5090 cinder block costs 5,000. I know, right? Like, absolutely. I mean, it's crazy for me to think my AI rig right now in just GPUs is like a $20,000 just with GPUs, not even memory, none of that stuff, which is wild. Absolutely wild. Catching up on chat here, guys. We're gonna keep it moving. I'm honestly surprised the GPU manufacturers doesn't void warranties and allow people to RMA units that have been used for mining. BP26, mining has no negative effect on your GPU. There's 2 videos I recommend you go check out. One, Red Fox Crypto just did a really good video a week or 2 ago on the effects of AI and mining on GPUs. Go check that out. In addition to that, Linus Tech Tips actually did a full video on this last bull run. The using it for mining versus using it in gaming, there's no difference. Your GPU doesn't know the difference. Everything with hardware and why it fails is with GPUs is due to heat dissipation and how good that manufacturer designed it. For me, my 5090, while it had an issue, is most likely a manufacturer issue and not actually me running it. I only owned it in May. And with AI, your watts and usage is up and down. Sometimes it's used, sometimes it's not. It goes all over the place. Do they have a 220 volt Go V plug? That I'm not sure about. I don't think so, because I think their target market is like home mining, but you'll have to take a look, Bear Market Miner. And if you do find one, let me know. Leaping Cobra Mods, tell him thank you for the videos and keep up the great work. I gotta go. Oh, thanks, Leaping Cobra. I do appreciate it. Joker says, question on your live stream. Do you have it set up to low latency when you set up your live? Yes. I can jump over real quick here. Let me go back and go in. I just wanted to double check what it is at if I do edit. Here, I can check my other one. Cancel. I know Joker's asking because he's live streaming. I can always send you any settings you want, Joker, as well over Discord. But yes, no, mine's on normal latency. I run normal latency on all my live streams. But latency doesn't matter for me with me like answering questions because I'm always behind. For the AI rigs, are you doing individual units or are you doing multiples? So I used to have 8 3090 rigs. This question comes from Carlos over on TikTok. I used to do 8 3090 rigs, and I decided to sell those because this was as everything started pumping. So I bought my 3090s for $500-600, and 3090s were selling for $1,200 to $1,300 each. So I ended up selling them on eBay. I did very well. I made double my profit within 6 months on 3090 rigs alone. I sold the GP, I sold the memory, I sold the NVMe drives. I made out making more money selling that hardware than I would within a year of running that hardware. Right now, I'm just sticking with a 5090 rig. My goal is to build an 8-card 5090 rig. Right now, I have 4, minus the one that we just showed, that are in there on a single EPYC CPU. Good question, though. But the hard part is you have to buy supporting hardware to support all of that. You need to have X16 risers to support full X16 because you can't put 8 slotted into a motherboard. You need like a full like open frame or a server case. So there's you spend a lot of money buying supporting hardware. It's not like the GPU mining days. Helium deploy is no longer getting Hynix. What does that mean? What do you mean by that? I'm confused. Hello, what's up, Mooks? Welcome. Cash is used by criminals. Listen, you're not wrong, Bleach. You're absolutely not wrong at all. Laugh out loud, right? Like Venmo is today, not used drug dealers. Maybe, absolutely. Let's see. Hydro for script. What are your thoughts? If you had to pick one for today's market, which one would you go? I mean, I would absolutely, so I would absolutely, if I'm buying anything today, I would go with a script miner, versus, unless it's a Bitcoin miner for like dirt cheap. I'm talking like an S19K Pro for under 50 bucks. Like, I'm not buying, and there's no reason to buy like an S21, an S21 Pro, S21 XP. That's the minimum I buy there. And then anything under that, it better be under $100, and it better be dirt cheap. Absolutely, to be honest with you. When it comes down to script miners, yeah, script would absolutely be the way to go. Don't hold your breath on BitDeer and the DL1. Reason I say that is they're just running them now. They've even told me flat out, they've told the public flat out, they are not going to sell the DL1s until the market flips, until the market changes. So they're running them now and making money off of them now. But they're transparent about it, so you can't really be upset about it. But who knows when that's going to be? They're waiting. I mean, think of it. If you manufacture and make a money printer, is it better to sell that money printer when that money printer is worth double, or when it's worth half? And if you can run that money printer and just wait it out and then sell it for double, wouldn't you do the same thing? So for me, if you're going to buy anything, L9s for sure. A lot of people are looking at L11s right now. There's been a new batch of L11s that have come out. Other than that, there isn't a lot of other script miners out there. You know, the AlphaPex DG1, DG1 Plus is not worth getting. The AlphaPex DG2, DG2 Pluses are way overpriced. They their profit margins are too slim, so they haven't changed their prices since they released those. I feel like I think those are dead. The Volk Miner D3 is not releasing, so you're kind of stuck with what you got, unfortunately. I mean, I got a bunch of the Volk Miner D1 still. I have 9 of those, and those are pretty much like a little brother to the L9, and they're in low power mode right now. They're only using 1100 watts right now. Unhinged says, I'm just messing. You was talking about the overseas guy taking 4 weeks, and I had to throw out there. But yeah, depends if they have the miners in stock and ready to go. Yeah. Yep. Correct. PDX says, I haven't been able to get a hold of Gecko Science about my K-Box. So Gecko Science is a very small team, like 2 people, honestly. And I have always had challenges getting a hold of them as well. I would not recommend him buying directly from Gecko Science. I would buy from a reseller like Altair Tech. That's where I got mine from. And maybe they can, or reach out to them. Maybe Altair Tech's willing to help you out, even though you didn't buy from them. That might be an avenue for you. I was asking them the other day. They said there were a few that had fuse issues when people tried to overclock their K boxes. The fuses would go, so maybe keep that in mind. Carlos says, I have an S19 110 terahash that I use to hold the door when I am getting groceries inside the house. That's really funny. Here's what I recommend you do. Anybody in stream that has a miner that is an older unit, we're going to use Carlos, for example, 110 terahash S19. What the hell do you do with that? I always had this like grand dream of buying a pallet of old S19s for like $1,000, and then finding a hosting company in Paraguay that has 1 to 2 cent electric and just sending these units there to die and make me the most money possible, because who knows if they're going to get seized or what's going to happen. But what I have started to do is, and what I recommend, I actually sent 15 units down to Bear Market Mining. And Carlos, I can get you connected with them if you're interested. I know you're over on TikTok. Bear Market Mining, Ben is there. And Ben Smith is someone I've worked with many years. Great guy. I've been to this farm many times. They just launched their hosting company this year. And they are hosting old units like the S19s that are doorstops when Carlos brings in groceries. And how they host them is they do a profit share model. They have 5.8 electric. They take the electric cost out of the rewards, and then they split 50-50 on anything that's left over. So while it is like, oh my gosh, I don't want to split my rewards. Why would I do that? Totally get it. It's not for everybody. But if not, it's a doorstop, guys. It's not doing anything. So you might as well put it to work, earning you a little bit of crypto. That's my mindset. I just send it. I send units to Bear Market Mining to just die. Like they'll eventually die there. Like run them to the ground. So I have 15 units that I actually sent down there, older units that are not profitable to run anywhere else at this time. So recommend go checking them out for sure. And tell Ben I said hi when you're chatting with them. Looking here, what do you think about Uphold partnering with Go Mining? I'm not familiar. Go Mining is the cloud. Go Mining is one of the cloud host or cloud mining companies. Not entirely. Do me a favor on that one, actually. If you're on Discord, Twitter, wherever, email me wherever. Send me a link to that. I'd like to read more about it. All right, I'm trying to catch them on chat. You guys are killing me. I thought this was InfoWars for a second. What's going on, man? Bay Bags, welcome. Incred here from New Jersey, Philly. Oh, Incred. Joker Miner was apologizing in the live chat for accidentally deleting your marketplace post. I'm not sure if you guys talked, but he apologized for deleting your post and had recommended that you guys repost that in marketplace. So Incred is actually on Instagram right now under the tag Baybags, but I know in Discord he goes under Incred. Let's catch up here. Let's see. I still can't figure out the 30 to 60 seconds. I have it changed, so we'll test it Friday. Nice, sounds good. Is there a giveaway? Not today. Nope, not today. We actually announced 2 giveaway winners in the Discord. I can show you guys actually. If you guys are ever interested in, like, Hobbyist does all these giveaways, but I can't ever find like where the winners. Well, on most of all the winners are always on the videos that are involved with these. But in my Discord, let me show you real quick. I have that up. There is a channel in my Discord. Gotta find it, called giveaways, and everything is here. So if you're like, if I want a giveaway and I don't even know about it, come through here and scroll through. You can see I post everything on Twitter. It also gets posted on the YouTube video if it on there, and then anything in here, any other giveaways, I always have the winners listed in here on my Discord. So make sure you guys come over. If in chat you want to find the Discord, just do !Discord, and that'll make that much easier. It'll give you a link if you're on any of those platforms. Nice. Sounds like a good strategy. Better than just sitting in the garbage. Yes, Carlos, that was my perspective. Carlos, to give you an idea as to units that I sent down to bear market mining, I sent down L7s, 6 L7s. What are you going to do with L7s now? L9s are break even. L7s aren't making anything. So I sent those down there. S19K Pros I sent down there. S19J Pros I sent down there. Some Canaan Avalons. Now these are big boy 1346s and 1566s. A number of units that I ended up sending down there. So might as well. Absolutely might as well. I have to repaste and pad all my GPUs today. Listen, Bleach, I love doing that, as frustrating as it might be, because what I'll do, I set up back behind me here. I put on like a podcast or someone else's, like Red Pandas or Max Voltage live stream, and just listen to that while I'm working on the GPUs. It makes it go 10 times faster. That's why I love doing the podcast. If you guys weren't familiar, I have a podcast. I drop an episode every week. You guys should go check it out. It's on every platform out there, including web browser. It's called the Everyday Miner Podcast. I think you do !Podcast in chat. Go over and check it out. I'm going to try that bear market mining strat, maybe for my S19s. Perfect. Yeah. Incred, when you do that, or Carlos, when you do that, just tell Ben I sent you. You get some additional discounting with that. He's the only guy you're going to deal with. It's him and one other guy. It's Ben and Davis. They run the entire thing. It's not like there's an army of people there. So that's a great way to go. Integra guy in chat says, I can vouch for bear market mining. Had 30 units S19J Pro pluses there for a month and been great. Nice. I know they're doing some network changes right now. They're getting that all fixed up with some more enterprise network equipment this week. But yeah, there's Integra guy. He's got 30 S19J Pro or JP pluses that are at bear market mining, which is great. Joker says, is Ben no longer with the other company? Ben was never with Block Ops Mining in Arkansas. Ben owns a construction company that helped build the mining farms for Block Ops, if that helps out a little bit there. So with bear market, you pay nothing. They just take the electric out of the profits directly. Yes. So what they do is they have a your every client's miners go to a wallet for that client, not your wallet, a client specific wallet. Everything's transparent. You get reports for everything, and then the amount of electric you used gets taken out of that, and you get whatever rewards are left over. So it may be nothing. It may be 50 cents a day, but it's split 50-50. Charlie, welcome. Happy to have you. Thanks, Nick, for posting that. I do appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Boscoin did a video series on Go mining. I thought it was it? Oh, it was Go mining. Yes. Seems to be tokenized ownership of mining infrastructure. Yeah, PDX, we talked about this a lot last live stream. No, he Must Miners I don't think has any locations. They just have units at Block Ops Mining. I think they had units at Simple Mining as well. That being said, yeah, that's right. Voscoin, I watched his mining farm tours of these facilities. I don't know if Go Mining owns the facilities or they just have units there and they're operated and paid for by another company. I don't know entirely. I didn't get that by the Voscoin video, but it was really interesting. I saw in Voscoin's video at Go Mining, I saw how they were doing on their exhaust side. I don't know if you guys noticed, but on the exhaust side, it wasn't just opened up. It was like, imagine a giant sheet, and then they had little holes for each fan, and that's to help any of that heat getting pulled back through and to keep it sealed up. I really love that idea. Saw that with Go Mining, and I've recommended it actually to a few mining farm companies since. All right, Joker Miner here. All right, guys, I'm caught up with chat. I'm caught up with the live chat, and we're only 51 minutes in. That's awesome. Heck yeah. So we're going to be live till 2. So we started at 12:30. We're going to be live till 2. So we're about 39 more minutes. So feel free to ask your questions in chat. I will answer them the best that I can at this point. And yeah, we're live on TikTok. Hi, TikTok. We're live on Instagram. Instagram, you're down here. And YouTube and Twitter, you're right over here. And that reminds me, I want to check here. Awesome. So yeah, thank you guys for coming to hang out with me today. One of the topics for today's live stream that I wanted to chat about is, part of our title for today. If I go back here, the exact title, read it to you. Sorry, my live stream is goofing up on me. Don't want to mess it up. Don't break it. All right. Don't break it. How much is enough Bitcoin to stack for the future? So I want to do a poll in chat here. And this will be on the YouTube chat, TikTok and Instagram. Just feel free to comment in chat, to be honest with you. But the question is going to be, how much Bitcoin are you focusing on stacking? And here's what I mean by that. The easy answer would be as much as I can, right? Like infinite, right? But in reality, I think we need to be a little bit like realistic. Like I was telling you guys at the top of the stream, I set a number of Bitcoin that I wanted to accumulate, and I got to that point in January, and now I'm just flipped my strategy to be covering operating costs a little bit more, paying for my salary, and I'm only putting about 5% of my mining rewards in every single day. So how much Bitcoin are you focusing on stacking right now? And maybe I should reword that a little bit. Let's do this. Let's change that question up a little bit. How much Bitcoin do you own? Now, I don't want you guys don't need to post that in the chat. Please don't. This is a poll. So I'm just very curious on like where people's mindsets are at. So I'm going to say 1 or more Bitcoin. We're just going to be very broad, okay? Not let's see. 0.5 or let's see. Let's do less than, oh my goodness, I'm all over the place. How it is 1 or more Bitcoin. Almost halfway to 1. Not even at 0.25. And finally, haven't even started stacking. We'll do that. We'll go that route, which I think will be important. While I'm putting that in chat, just curious on where you guys are at. You know, like I'll be entirely transparent. Like for me, I'm at 1 or more Bitcoin. Like that's where I fall under with that poll. Let's see here. Carlos says on TikTok, enough to use it as collateral for any investments on the future. Yes, I actually read the other day, there was it Missouri, Minnesota? The first individuals did a mortgage-backed loan with Bitcoin. Love it, and use that as collateral, which I thought was really interesting, for sure. Where was that other question just came up? Second time catching you. What days and times are you normally on, and what other streams are you on? Great. Thank you very much, B from BK, for asking. Tuesdays at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. We're an hour into that stream right now. Thursdays at 9 a.m. So just 2 days a week. Tuesdays, Thursdays, 12:30 on Tuesdays, 9 a.m. on, I'm sorry, 12:30 on Tuesdays, 9 a.m. on Thursdays. And I'm on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter all at the same time. So if you're joining and you're like, oh, I prefer Twitter more, YouTube more, like you could find me on all those platforms. Just look up the Hobbyist Miner. You can find me everywhere. My largest audience and chat conversation is actually over on YouTube right now. But thank you very much for joining, and thank you very much for asking. I do appreciate that, which I think is great. All right, let me jump back over to chat here. We got a few votes coming in on Twitter, which is great. Let's see. I have accumulated Bitcoin, but have also used it to pay things off. Yeah, like Joker Miner, I know, has paid off a ton of his family debt with Bitcoin and crypto, which I think is amazing. Great first step. There are only 21 million. Is that right? Correct. That is what makes Bitcoin so unique. It is hard money. There's only so much of it, and it can't be changed, manipulated, or more printed. Minimum should be a block. I like it. I like it. Who needs Bitcoin when you, oh, that's right. Retro Mike. What's up, man? What's up, man? Oh, I bumped my camera. I love it. Yo, listen, I think you own, is your goal like, is it like Pokemon with Pigeon Coin? Like you want to own it all? You want to catch them all? That is awesome. That is awesome to see. All right, let's see. We're going to end this poll real quick here. And we'll talk about the results in a second. In total, since 2022, almost 1 Bitcoin right now, under 0.1 since I used it. Smart. Oops, I meant 0.000. Yeah, there you go. It's 2026. You're not allowed to say tweet anymore. Discord drives me crazy. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Original goal was 0.1 Bitcoin. After I reached that, I just solo mine and hope DCA. So I love that. I love that plan there, you know, from End City, where he's just like, listen, 0.1 Bitcoin is enough. Awesome. Good for you. You know, using Bitcoin as a store of value, I think, is a fantastic avenue to go. And then after that, you're just solo mining and you're DCAing. Like, I'm thrilled to see you have some type of game plan. Good for you, 100%. I posted the poll in chat. How much Bitcoin do you own? 54%. So most of you said not even 0.25. 21% haven't even started stacking. So that means the largest majority of you guys have Bitcoin and have started stacking Bitcoin. 20% though, pretty big amount, is saying they haven't even started Bitcoin mining. Maybe you're just solo mining, so you haven't even accumulated Bitcoin. 17% said 1 or more, and 1% said halfway. So it's interesting, or 8% halfway to 1. So what that tells me is the smallest amount of my audience is in that area between like half a Bitcoin to a full Bitcoin, which is really interesting. I feel like that's the hardest area to be in, to be honest with you. As long as I own more Pigeon than RPM, that's all that matters. Nice. Bro, my graphic is not working. Oh, hang on here. I have to do this. Bam. Bro, my graphic, I assume he means graphics card, is not working, and my friend sends your video to me in an oven and tell me to try it. Oh, Cushion, you're talking about the reflow. So if your graphics card is not working, the reflow avenue is the Hail Mary. I've done this. Those of you guys have no clue what I'm talking about. If you have a graphics card that's not putting out video or that's not working and you've tried everything else, reflowing it is absolutely Hail Mary. honestly. And to do that, you strip it down to just the board. I have a video out there of this. You then take a toaster oven. So it's an oven, toaster oven that you'll never use for anything else ever again but reflowing. I have one over in my shed. You'll see it in my videos. Oh, and it fits. It's bigger. It's bigger. It's got glass doors in the front. And you do tinfoil balls under each little tiny corner. You just want it like hovering. You don't want the tinfoil touching anything. You just want it, just the tips of holding it up. And you reflow it in for, I don't remember the timing of it. It is 10 minutes maybe at like 250 or something like that. It's just to help reflow some of those solders for any broken solder joints or anything like that, to see as a Hail Mary, if it'll go ahead and fix it. There is no guarantee at all. But Cushion, that's awesome. Kudos to your friend for sending it over. Ranch Hand says, I have heard whispers of a discussion regarding the fork of 21 million Bitcoin and plans for future work. You must be talking about the BIP 110. We were talking about that earlier in today's live stream. That is going nowhere. That is going nowhere at this point in time. For sure. All right, guys, we have 30 minutes left in our live stream. Feel free to drop any of your questions that you guys do have in chat, which I think would be a lot of fun. Yeah, so going back on the Bitcoin discussion, I actually started out accumulating Bitcoin, and my goal was, hello from Miami, huge fan, thank you. My goal was to get 3 Tangent wallets, or four Tangent wallets, and do 0.1 Bitcoin on each of them for my 3 kids and for my wife. That was like my original game plan. So that's 0.4 Bitcoin. And to slowly accumulate up to that point. That was like my original plan. What happened was I ended up taking profits on crypto far exceeding that 0.1. Decided that, like, hey, instead of doing like only accumulating 0.4 and being content, why don't we just keep going, and keep that going for sure. So I still have those in place and available for them, and just letting them accumulate. But then I have my overall holdings as well. That's, if I've taken profits, moving things into it, I've absolutely, that's been my strategy with, like, is there enough Bitcoin? I think where I'm at now is like, I'm content with the Bitcoin I own. Content. It doesn't mean I'm done owning, like buying it. When I see Bitcoin dip hard, I buy like another $1,000 of it. But what I've also been doing is 5% of all my mining rewards automatically go into my long-term Bitcoin holding wallet, is the avenue that I've gone. I think he's talking about the rounding error in the Bitcoin code that limits it to 20.99999 Bitcoin and not a true. Really? I was not familiar with that, Retro Mike. I appreciate you educating me on that. Interesting. What is the overall consensus on that? I DCA every paycheck into Coinbase and use my BTC Coinbase card with on all purchases at Accept American Express. Surprised how many do not accept it. Oh, okay. Huh. Interesting. Ranchin says, then we need to invent a new replacement for Bitcoin. Listen, you're not going to be around then, brother. You're not going to be around then, so I don't think you need to worry about it. We have ShakePay up in Canada. Physical card just released. Same concept. Well, I don't know if any of you guys have seen that. Tangem, if you're using Tangem, now has a Tangem Visa card, so that you can literally take your funds directly from your holdings and move them right into to fund the Tangem Visa card. That is out there now as well. I think a big one for miners that I'm hearing and seeing is that miners want the opportunity and avenue to utilize their mining rewards for operating cost. Electric is a great example. I do that 100%. USDC, I do that as well. And I fund that over to a card. And that's been something that I have done for quite a while now. We are getting 5% back right now on the Bitcoin Coinbase card. Nice. Heck yeah, man. I mean, there's lots of avenues to go. It sounds like everybody seems to find different ways to go for sure. Retro Mike says there are no replacements for Bitcoin, just Temu clones. I love it. Temu. Nice. Nice. That's like those Temu little USB miners that I bought. They're dead. I want to see, I want to look at doing a video on buying like Alibaba or like a miner off of, was it AliExpress or Alibaba or something like that, and see how it does, how it holds up, what that experience is like. Randog says at today's prices, should I purchase an Avalon Q now or wait until next gen release? I think the Avalon Q is a good call now. They are going, if you're just focusing on Canaan is going to be announcing their next generation miners in January at CES. The issue is, I've been told Canaan is going more, this is all they've told me, Canaan is going more for lifestyle miners that they'll be releasing. So where that comes to mind for me is the fact that look at like, and you tell me what you guys, how do you guys interpret that, lifestyle miners? What that tells me with Canaan is that Canaan is not going to go the route of Nano 3S version 2, like whatever they want to call it, or a new Canaan Avalon Q. Like, they're not going to be making those. What that sounds like to me is that they're going to go more the route of the Mini 3, of being these heaters, and entirely focused on like, hey, here's a space heater that also earns you Bitcoin. Lifestyle to me does not mean RGB. Lifestyle to me means like they're going to try to incorporate in their Bitcoin miners into more day-to-day things. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of that what they said, lifestyle? Rizzo says, Hobbyist, what about precious metals? I've never gotten into gold or silver. I can see the allure around gold, especially where it pumped. I believe it's still up pretty massively. If I was to look at gold and see where it's at, I think it's, you know, I think it's, I always tell people it is smart to diversify 100%. So like, if you're going to go into Bitcoin, maybe consider going into its like equivalent, which is gold, having some in the S&P, you know, some in here. Like, it's good. I always tell people it's smart to diversify across the board. What about you, Rizzo? Are you big into precious metals? Is that why you asked that? If Bitcoin goes up, the price may go up. Okay. Joker says taxes must be fun. Oh, they're so much fun. Absolutely. Yeah, they probably realize that people want more than a miner. Well, where my thought was on the lifestyle thing was, if Canaan is trying to target, like, if Canaan is seeing the writing on the wall that there are not as many home miners as there used to be, which I don't believe there is, or as many new people coming into the space. A lot of new people that are coming in are going right after solo miners. But that being said, if Canaan is deciding to go this lifestyle route, it sounds like they're trying to target the general public of like, hey, you need a space heater. Great, buy a space heater, but this one also rewards you in Bitcoin. Do you see that? Where those people are like, oh, I need a space heater, and I'd love to accumulate Bitcoin at the same time. This is awesome. Never stepping into Bitcoin mining at all. So it seems like they're trying to change their target demographic. It's a fractional rounding error that happens from the halvings. The final block reward. Oh, interesting. The final block reward of the last block will result in 1 Satoshi shy of 21 million. Interesting. I did not know that. Thank you for, explaining that. I'm sure Hobbyist has numerous tax shelters. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. For all my purchases from Alibaba have been amazing. Yeah, only one bit access died. Yeah, I'm just curious on trying that out. I've never I've never bought anything from Alibaba or AliExpress. Question: now that Tangem has a Visa card that you use for payments, do they send you also all the info needed for taxes, or do they just send all of that to the IRS and good luck? I don't have a Tangem Visa card. My understanding is when you have a Tangem wallet, you know, there's no KYC there. Love that. Cool. Love it. When you have to apply for the Visa credit card, it requires a KYC factor, which makes sense, being that you're actually getting a true Visa credit card. As for the tax filing implications, I would imagine someone in chat, if you know, just like a Coinbase card, you know, they provide you everything for the tax side of things. Tech Man, you're late AF. That's right. Retro Mike, Lifestyle, aka Patio Heater, Tiki Torch. Yeah, maybe Maybe that'd be great. A little patio heater for the fall and winter. You know, that'd be nice. He has a lot of write-offs for sure. 100%. 100%. My biggest write-off is electric cost. 100%. It is a lot. Last year it was high five figures. Let's see here. Scrolling down. They need a minor type of a mini split for shops. Well, it wouldn't be a mini split, it'd be a heater, but the challenge is like, you know, using, you know, the byproduct of all of that is the heat. That's the big one. Heater that mines BCH and says price. It sounds like all of them out there, right? Let's see. Rizzo says, Hobbyist, I hold a little precious metals. Gonna have some of that hard money. Listen, I don't think you're dumb. You know, I think that's actually a really smart move, is to, you know, like, if you're gonna own precious metals, also own Bitcoin. Something else you also have to keep in mind is what we saw more recently. We saw Bitcoin's price dip pretty dramatically, and when there's a lot of uncertainty, you know, a lot of this going on with the Strait of Hormuz previously, I heard a great conversation about this. Individuals will liquidate what's easy first. It's not gold. It's not like a bar of gold, right? Or silver. It's a digital asset like Bitcoin. So that's why we saw a massive amount of ETF outflows for a while, consistently higher outflows than inflows for weeks and weeks and weeks on at a time, because of just uncertainty. It's eager to go ahead and sell Bitcoin than it is to sell gold. That's kind of the value of hard money, as you had talked about there. Now, granted, it wasn't straight up Bitcoin. It was a Bitcoin ETF. Tax advocates under the IRS legal framework is not tax evasion. Look at that. This guy. That's because they use knockoff Texas Instrument voltage regulators. It's all about your documentation, folks. Get a CPA and keep your legit receipts. Heck yeah. Wish I had good investment tax guy. All you guys have great guys. I wish I had a good investment tax guy. All you guys have great guys for it. Hobbyist. I mean, I think it's definitely important. Sometimes it's not necessarily like having a tax guy that totally understands crypto. I think it's just being able to provide them the proper documents. Like in my situation, as long as you provide them the proper documents, crypto's not confusing to them. I'm watching you from Bangladesh. Well, awesome. Welcome. Bleach says, and just so everyone knows, when you go to sell metal, you get half the spot price. Well, yeah. So the challenge is, you know, when you are selling that precious metal, that is a taxable event as well. When you go to a pawn shop or a coin shop or wherever that you're going to sell, jewelry store to sell that, absolutely. I'm going to start mining next month. I love it. What are you looking to get? What are you looking to buy? Tell me about it. I want to know more. Ranchan, need to find and use for all the leftover heat. Maybe for, yeah, you know what? That's a big one. Is I'm seeing more and more people outside the US getting into mining, looking to repurpose the heat, just based off of what they have done for heating in the past, and seeing an opportunity with low electric. I was talking with a guy this morning in my Discord, Paraguay. He lives in Paraguay. He's looking to get a few hydro miners and a hydro rack and use the heat from you know, the byproduct of that. And I think that's awesome. I'm seeing more and more people trying to get creative with the heat itself, which I think is a smart move. Carlos says, yeah, I have everything on an Excel spreadsheet with receipts, so my CPA wife doesn't hate me. Yeah, I would look at proper software to help out versus just Excel. I think there's a lot out there, good software out there. I have a few listed. I use Coinly very heavily. You actually can go in my Discord. There's if you guys have questions on taxes and crypto, in my Discord, there's a sub channel for taxes and crypto. There is multiple videos, some that are mine, some that are others that I found that are super helpful, that really break this down start to finish. What is tax, what is not, and how, and software links in there on what websites I use for tracking. I would highly recommend it. Techman says I use Coinly. Foreign taxes suck, and it's a few hundo. However, to handle all the ledgers. Yes. Yes, you have to, to handle everything. The thing is, I think where you run into challenges with taxes and crypto is when you're dealing with a lot of these small coins, these small cap coins. It can be tough because it's not supported. B from BK, how can we get access to your Discord? Easy, it's totally free. Go over to my website. My website, you ready? The hobbyistminer.io. thehobbyistminer.io. That has everything. You can get to my Discord from there. You can watch my videos. I have articles that release every week over there. You can, everything, recommended places to buy from over there. Companies I use to buy from, who I host with. Go over and check it out, thehobbyistminer.io. And you can check it out over there. That was a question over on TikTok, where we don't have mods with bots and links that we can put out there. But great question. Thank you for answering that. I completely heat my whole home from miners during winter. Yes. So talking about winter, while we're on that, it's crazy to think because it's like 90 degrees outside right now. But if you guys remember last winter, I went ahead and I took an S19K Pro with the Erlacher kit and I tied it into my return duct. So the air would go through my house, and then that last return duct that goes into the actual unit, I put a collar on. A collar is flat with a circle, and you cut out the hole, tape it on there with the foil tape. And I buttoned up an S19K Pro that had the Erlacher kit on it. So it took it from 240 down to 120 because that's all I had available nearby there. And I did have it wired in with a switch, and I had LuxOS on it. And I was going ahead and heating my home with that. Now you can go crazy with it. You can find, there's a Home Assist is a platform you can run locally that will connect with LuxOS. So you can say, like, you can connect it then in with your thermostat if you have a smart thermostat. So it's like thermostat, Home Assist, S19K Pro, and it will adjust the frequency up and down on the S19K Pro as you adjust it on your actual thermostat, which is cool. So when you need more heat, you turn it up. It will change the frequency to turn that up on the S19K Pro, which is a really cool idea. Thank you very much for subscribing. And so I ran that last year. I did convert that S19K Pro back to stock. That actually got sent down to Bear Market Mining, and I'm running down there on their profit share model. But this year, what I want to do is I still have that 8-inch collar there, and I got to talk with Crypto Cloaks to find out. They have a shroud that buttons up to Avalon Q, which is super efficient, right? Buttons up to the Avalon Q, the shroud on the back of the Avalon Q, and then goes into that 8-inch, I think. So that'll make it real easy. What I want to try to do is do the Avalon Q and a Fluminer T3 next to each other, right up against my return duct that has two of those shrouds in, and then into a Y, and then goes into that 8-inch to try to use the Avalon Q and the T3 for heating. I might end up actually, to make my life easier, just do one, like the Avalon Q. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the Avalon Q down. We'll have to see. The T3 is going to be tough because I got to keep the watts down. Oh, dang it. The T3 can't run on 120. Maybe I'll put one of them in a room and then one down here connected into the return duct. That's going to be the better play. I'll put one like in like my living room kitchen area that's running right there, and so that'll still generate heat that'll get pushed through the house, and then I'll put the other one down here into the return duct. That's what I'll do. Good afternoon, everyone. Better late than never. What's up, Tech Wrench? What's up, Lukewarm Mining? Ranchan, be careful not to destroy your air conditioner system, right, Hobbyist? That's right. That's right. Don't be exhausting your heat. Don't be exhausting all that air outside without replacing it. That's what he's talking about. Many moons ago, when I got into mining, I set up exhaust fans in my basement to suck all that air out, but never went ahead and replaced that air. Air isn't just like plentiful in a house. If you're exhausting that air, it's got to get pulled in from somewhere. Be careful. I have a long-term project of connecting my Tesla Powerwall to a Home Assist and then connecting my Vanish hub a home assist. What's Finish Hub? I haven't heard that before. Then I can sleep miners when there is not enough power. Oh, I see. Yeah. That's smart. That's smart. So yeah, that's smart. Do you have a Tesla Powerwall? So then do you have like the Tesla roof as well? That's cool. That's right. You're like you're on the West Coast. So you got some great sun for solar. We're not doing that in Pennsylvania. We're not doing that. I got solar in Pennsylvania. I don't recommend it. Not at all. Not at all. Yeah, I haven't ever. Has anyone dabbled with Home Assist in chat? I have not played around with Home Assist, but it seems like there's lots of great avenues to go. Thank you very much for subscribing. I do appreciate that. I was actually at Moonshot about a year ago at their location in Texas. Yeah, in Texas. And Moonshot, they do, I don't know if it's public or not, but they do assembly for Bitmain in the US. Bitmain ships a bunch of their hardware there in pieces, and then Moonshot's team upstairs puts them all together and assembles them. And then they test them. So then they bring them back downstairs, and this is all for Bitmain. And they use Home Assist. You can see it up on a screen. It's right above this, like, they have this massive box that they built in this warehouse to exhaust all that heat. And they have all the miners slot in there, probably 50 at once. They have this massive TV with the stats on every slot. It's pretty slick. And they kind of do like a burn-in test on all of them. 14.8 kilowatts of panel and 2 inverters. That's awesome, dude. I have a 12 kilowatt system on my roof with 2 inverters. But I'm making nowhere near the power that you're making at all. I want to start solo mining with a Nerd QX++ for version 6.1. Please tell me your opinion about this. Love it. Okay. First thing you said was you want to start with a Nerd QX. Great choice. Second thing you mentioned was solo mining. Thank you. Thank you for using the Nerd QX as a solo miner. There's a lot of people that join brand new. They buy a Nerd QX and they pool mine with it. And they make 1 cent in Bitcoin a day. And then they're upset. So 100% love the direction you're going. You are on the right path. I can tell you've watched a few of my videos, which is great. Good for you. I have not, but I'm thinking of setting up a local server and running it in a Docker container. Could be a cool video. Nice. There you go. Check out High Voltage Homestead. He runs a bunch of miners using Solar Assist. Interesting. I actually came across a guy, Ed something. He came across my YouTube home screen. It was Ed something. And he was powering miners with solar. And I was like, I wanted to watch it, right? Because I wanted to educate myself a little bit more, understand, where he's coming from. Listen, you can absolutely do it. There's just certain areas of the country in the US that are better to do it than others because of the amount of months in a year, that of the peak sun, the amount of sun per day. Pennsylvania is not one of them at all. Absolutely. Catching up here, Carlos says, right now, learning how to day trade so I can buy this property besides a solar farm like 1 hour from me. Interesting. How's that going for you? How is day trading going for you? And what type of day trading are you doing? Like, what are you buying and selling traditionally? Retro Mike says, I prefer N8N. I'm not Nate? I'm not prefer. What is that? What is it? N8N? What is that? How do you even say that? It has full API functionality and doesn't lock you into smart home devices only. I use it to manage my smart power plugs and a lot of my other home lab. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a whole world there of avenues that people can go. And listen, if I had more time on my hands, I would absolutely jump into it. But with putting out 4 YouTube videos a week, 2 live streams a week, 1 article a week, I don't have the time. I don't have the time. Like, I'm doubling up on content this week. Next week, by the way, quick PSA. Next week, I won't have any live streams. I'm going to be traveling for a mining farm tour next week, so I won't be available. So Thursday's live streams at 9, and then next week I won't have any live streams because I'll be traveling to do a mining farm tour. So this week I'm doubling up on the content, so I have to create 8 pieces of content versus 4 when it comes down to just videos, let alone articles and stuff. Yeah, a busy boy. I'd love to have the opportunity to tinker with all that stuff. I just don't have the opportunity. Bleach says, I'm 100% off grid. That's awesome. Good for you. Are you located like Arizona, California, Florida, anywhere, Texas, anywhere in there? There you go. Lukewarm says Retro Mike. I'm writing that down. May hit you up. Listen, Retro Mike's not tech support though. So like you want to hit him up, great, but he's not gonna tell you how to fix it. No clouds in Arizona. Ah, jealous. Jealous. Smart. Future MNQs right now. I don't even know what that is, but awesome. Love it. Feel free to ping me if you have any questions. If you saw my homepage content, I use N8N to surface the data in real time to the dashboard. That's sick. I would love to just have an opportunity to tinker with a lot of that stuff. APIs and building tools. I literally have a list over here next to me of tools I want to build to help me with content management, content creation, managing companies that I work with, daily dashboards I want to build for myself, for content, for crypto mining, for all of this that I want to build as local web apps. And I have had zero time to dedicate to doing it. I need to, every time I want to schedule some time, it gets eaten up by something. So it's like, gosh, I need to take a week and just walk away from the world and work on it and then come back and be like, okay, great. I'm much more efficient. I have all this data. I built these things. This is awesome. But content suffers then. So yeah. Oh, you're out there near Max. That's awesome. Yes, audience gets a vacay. Wow, look at this guy. Well, you know what, Red Panda, you know, he was away last week or this week, and now I'll be away next week. We stagger them. We schedule them, you know, keep that content coming out there for you. All right, we got 4 minutes left. Here's a curiosity question. Outside of my channel at Red Panda Mining, what other 3 YouTube crypto related channels do you guys watch? Just post them in chat. Would love to know. Like outside of myself and Panda, I know there's a lot of bleed over. Some maybe not as much bleed over as I think, but I think Panda and I share a lot of audiences. Our content is different. You know, Panda is very GPU heavy, especially recently within the AI side of things. Love it. I watch his content every day. I am more focused on a lot of the home miner stuff, on full-size ASICs, on mining farm tours, things like that, podcast style. But what other 3 creators outside of me and Panda are you guys watching to get your crypto mining fix? I'm just curious. Like, I hope I can find some people, to be honest with you. Like, I'm always looking for more creators. There's been a lot of creators that have left the scene, have left the industry. And so there's a lot less people. So like, I'd love to add some people to my list of like, never heard of this guy. I should watch them. Right. So Rizzo says modern mining, very familiar with him. Greater Good. I'm following him as well. Greater Good makes content every once in a while. Always good stuff. I was watching his Mara video actually, before, this morning, actually, when I was getting some work done. Modern mining. I saw he had a video more recently on some solar, I guess it's more portable temporary solar equipment out there. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Bleach says Rabid. I'm subscribed to Rabid as well. It's Rabid, and I've been watching Voscoin build his solar farm. Oh, I bet Max too. There we go. Perfect. So I love Max's content. I'm subscribed to Voscoin and Rabid. Watermelon mining. I've never heard of that. Has anyone ever heard of that before? I'm looking them up now to see. Watermelon mining. That sounds like an interesting name. Every time I search for that, I just get like Minecraft stuff. Let's see. Mining Stacker, he's good. I saw he dropped a video actually today. I think he did yesterday. Andy, yep, going. No one else is worthwhile in my opinion. Oh, that's a steep one. Altered Component. I thought Altered Component was stepping away from YouTube and content entirely. And then I saw him releasing videos. Sterling. Oh, I watch Sterling's content when like I need to get nitty gritty into Sterling content when I have like something wrong with one of my home solo miners. He always has great content out there for sure. That's always a really, really good one. I've enjoyed like his is always the ones that I jump to. Okie Man says Voscoin. Yeah, I watch Voscoin. The solar stuff isn't as interesting to me, but I still watch the solar content just to follow along with him and his journey out there. DNL says high voltage homestead does not use solar assist. Oh, really interesting. Rabid, Max, Voscoin, love it. Oh, Retro Mike says Carpoots. What is that? I feel like I've heard of that before. Let's look here. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Ryan. Yes, yes. I follow him as well. Ryan Blass is who you're referring to. Got it. Thank you, Retro Mike, for helping me with that. I do appreciate that. How much do we pay you to promote our channel? You don't. I don't promote YouTube channels. I've tried to as well stay away from promoting tokens. I get hit up a lot to promote like an individual token. Nope, no thanks. I'm not taking that risk at all. And if I don't believe in it, it is that's tough. Maybe back in the day, like I would be more interested in things like Flux or Ergo or Ravencoin. You know, back in the day, like those times period, like the GPU mining days, I was more token focused, project focused. Now I just kind of stick to the hardware, to be honest with you. Yeah, Max is a good one. Block Street Boys, Greater Good, Rabid, Retro Mike. Retro Mike has a video every once in a while. I subscribe to his channel as well. And I still need to get over to, was it Zima OS? He's recommended it many times. I've seen it many times on his channel. So that's something that I'm considering as well. Cool. Well, listen, I got to get going. I got content to work on. I got a video to prep to release for tomorrow. It's on phone mining, so keep an eye out. And then I have to edit a video that I recorded for Friday, which is on a BM1373 miner that I just got in. Uses the new chip, so that'll be releasing here on Friday as well. So definitely keep an eye out for that. There's also, I'm seeing Luke, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, possibly releasing a video on Saturday on a firmware for the Z15 Pro. Oh, there it is. Ed's DIY solar farming. Yes, I just came across his channel for the first time. And I have a video in my watch list that I need to go ahead and check out. Anyways, guys, yes, so Saturday we might have a Z15 Pro firmware video, custom firmware, third party, which is awesome. We'll see. But anyways, I gotta get going. I got work to do. Thank you guys very much for joining me today. Excuse me. I'll see you guys Thursday at 9 a.m. Take care, everybody. We are out.